Hello, today we are in Caramulo, specifically Caramulo's village. Caramulo is famous in Portugal mainly due to its bottled water, which has the same name. But that's not why we're here. We're here to explore the village and the history of the village and its most valued treasure, the Museum of Cars. So let's go. The village of Caramulo is actually not that old. It was commissioned in 1921, so it's exactly 100 years old in 2021. The reason for this town to become a thing was for health reasons, because back in the day the medicine was not like it is today, and for many diseases the best you could do is to provide the best environment possible to the sick people. For respiratory diseases, mainly tuberculosis, one of those things is putting patients where the airs were good, and that's usually implied tall places or higher mountains, and one of those places was Caramulo. So with the advancement of medicine, of course, now you treat tuberculosis in different ways and it's not that big of a problem anymore. So around Caramulo you can see a lot of very big abandoned buildings, which used to be sanatoriums, and there were over 20 of them. Caramulo is also quite famous for its motor festivals. They're usually made every year in the beginning of September, and they attract people from all over Portugal. You can bring your car and participate in the festival, especially if you have an older car or a rally car or something. And there's even a tiny race that takes place, and it's very funny to see very old cars making a race here. This festival is organized by the museum that we're gonna visit now. Let's see what's inside. So in the museum we have a toy collection. Very nice. Ooh, this was a bonus. I didn't know they had like a bike museum. This is new. Very nice. I love how all the bikes have a plate for the oil to drip under them. Very ecological. Here we have a motorcycle that was made in Portugal, and it's actually one of the most sold bikes made in Portugal. Apparently this motorcycle museum seems to be slightly famous because there's a lot of bikers coming here right now to see it. Nice! So let's go to the more interesting part, which is the cars. One of the most notable vehicles in this museum is this car. Why, you ask? Because it's 100% Portuguese, which is something you don't see every day. This car was made in Portugal from the ground up. Even the engine is Portuguese. It looks very Italian because it's actually inspired in Italian cars, of course. And it's from the early 50s. Amazing, right? Another star of this museum is the fact that it has not one, not two, but 3 cars that Salazar used and owned, like not officially, but yeah. These 3, Cadillac, Mercedes and Cadillac again, I believe. The Mercedes was its official car, but he never wanted to use it because he didn't want to be associated with the Austrian guy ruling Germany in the 30s. If you ask me, Benz without Mercedes looks odd color. Another Portuguese made vehicle, but this one actually never was on the road. it never became like a full sold car, commercialized car. It's very small, I don't know if you noticed. And continue our journey in the village of Caramulo. Let's go. So just in front of Museu do Caramulo you have Hotel do Caramulo. So let's try to have a coffee inside. Now we are in Caramulo Hotel, which is my favorite place to have coffee here because of this amazing view. The mountain range you see in front of us, it's actually Serra da Estrela, which is the tallest mountain range in continental Portugal. It's just short of 2 kilometers high from the sea level. And you can also see the amazing valley, very wide valley with around 30 kilometers of distance. This view you cannot actually see every day. We're lucky today because it's good weather, because many times it's a bit foggy or you have clouds and of course you cannot see it. Caramulo Hotel is actually also an old sanatorium. Very interesting. Almost everything here was a sanatorium at some time. So in the motor festival you have here every beginning of September, there's a small race, as I told you, and the cars leave from here. And it's called a Rampa do Caramulo, which means more or less the runaway of Caramulo, because it looks like a lift-off place. And if you come by motorcycle in the festival day, you can actually do the Rampa do Caramulo without even being inscribed. In the end of Rampa do Caramulo you have Cabeça de Neve, which means something like snowy head, because it's kind of common to snow in the winters here, but only in the tippity top of the mountain, so this is one of those. And it's also home to paragliding, and I guess you can see why. So that's the end of this video.